And so what are you going to do? You roll down the window just enough to keep yourself protected, but you've got to examine it. And you look at the face, and you listen for the voice, and you look at the clothes, and you pick up that sixth sense and your intuition, and you're asking God for help, all to examine whether you're going to do one thing. Will you trust Him or not? Isn't that the issue? If you trust Him, you may get a ride home. If you trust Him, you may get a ride someplace else. But that's the issue. Can you trust Him? And all of us hit different times in our life of crisis. And in our times of crisis, that's when we become the most vulnerable. It's in our crisis that we need a leader then. We need a shepherd. We need a help. We need provision. We need protection. We need someone to come alongside us like never before. But it's also a time when we are so vulnerable that if the wrong person comes with the wrong motives, we can be taken advantage of like no other time in our life. Now, sometimes this happens and someone we know comes alongside of us, and that makes us feel a lot more comfortable because we know who they are. And the fact of the matter is, most of us haven't been stranded out on a road that often. But there's other issues in our lives that really are just as sensitive. And even people that we know, when the stakes get higher and the issues are very sensitive and we're in a crisis. Now, we look good. You know, we walk in here and people think everything's okay, and, you know, we look kind of pretty and we smile and they say, "How you doing?" We say, "Fine, great," you know, all that junk. But down deep in our heart, we may be going through one of the deepest crises, and we're longing for someone to come into our life, but we're asking the same question as that person in the car. Should I open the door? Should I roll down the window? Should I unlock it? Should I let this person come into my life and really help me? I want to. But what if they abuse me instead of help me? Can I trust them? Isn't that the issue? Can I share my deepest fears? Dare I allow another Christian leader, teacher, friend, small group associate to hear some doubts that are going on in my life? Do I run the risk of getting another brother aside and saying, "I am really struggling with lust right now. Years ago, I had problems with pornography and it's coming back and I'm losing." Dare I risk saying that and have his whole image of me fall apart? Do you run the risk of taking another woman alongside and saying, "I know we look good on the outside, but our marriage is falling apart. If we don't get some help, we're not going to make it"? Do you roll down the window? Do you open the door and let someone come in and help you? You need it, but the risk is high. If you're a student and you've done some things and crossed some boundaries that you know you shouldn't have crossed, do you go to a high school coach or to another adult or maybe to the youth pastor and say, "This may ruin your view of me, but I got to tell someone this is where I'm at and I'm struggling and I'm scared and I don't know what to do"? The issue boils down to, can you trust them? When our backs are against the wall, we need a friend and a shepherd and a leader and someone to help us. And yet it's at that very time we've got to ask and answer the question, will I open the door? Will I get help? Or will I become more information on the gossip trail? Will they take the information that I've shared in a moment of vulnerability and sensitivity and pain, and will I hear about it from someone else? Or will they pretend to care and then burn me? That's happened a couple times. You see, trusting people is absolutely essential in times of crisis. But how do you know who you can trust? In a time of crisis, the church was going through a fiery ordeal. The Apostle Peter gave us some guidelines on how to spot a leader you could trust.